Hello everybody. I hope you're well. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. It's been a wild time in my life. I'm not going to go into it, but it has been wild. I'm okay. I know I look a little frazzled. The hair is, really needs to be done. By the way, should we go back to blonde or should we do red again? Or a mix? I'm thinking blonde. But yeah, I'm vain. I can't help but talk about my hair when I'm on here. But what I wanted to come on and talk about, if I don't get interrupted by my husband who's working from home, is the concept of dual relationships between a voice teacher and a client / student, or a counselor and a client. And I actually have learned a lot about this through the therapists that I have seen over the years in their contracts. Before you start with them, there's often a clause about I do not have dual relationships with my clients, meaning you can't be my client and my friend. And they usually state somewhere in the contract that it's a breach of the relationship and it doesn't work out. Like for instance, they say don't friend me on social media, because that's a dual relationship that's harmful to the work that we do. And is he coming downstairs? No, he's not. That's just the AC. And I get, I walk right up to that line with my students. It's interesting. I don't teach my friends anymore. I had to learn the hard way that anytime I would ever teach someone who was my friend first, they would, probably not on purpose, take advantage of me in some way. They would break all of my rules about 24-hour cancellation policy, payment policy, late policy. They would expect special treatment. And I have those policies for a reason. I'm a very nice person, I think. But also don't tread on me, So I feel strongly that my time is valuable. And when you reserve a 60-minute spot, from 2 to 3 p.m. with me, that's what you get. And if you show up 15 minutes later, I have already been sitting at my piano waiting for you for 15 minutes. And that's 15 minutes of my time. And I should be paid for that. We should not go over. So anyway, I don't do dual relationships with students and clients. There's only been one person I have broken that rule with, and she was also I've broken that rule with successfully. She was also a voice teacher, so she understood, and she was extremely sensitive, respectful of my boundaries, but my overall rule, and this is moving forward too, is that I do not teach my friends. I do not hang out with my students. It doesn't mean that I don't care about them. I care about them deeply. And like I said, we walk right up to the line of dual relationships. A lot of them, like one of them that I saw today, came back from a trip. She was out last week, and she spent most of her hour-long lesson talking. And I kind of interrupted her part of the way through and said, how are you doing? Do you want to keep telling me about your trip? Do you want to do some singing today? Either one is fine with me, just so that, she was aware of the time. And we did end up doing some singing, but we used a good chunk of the hour to talk, and that's what she said she wanted. She said that it felt like a bit of therapy to her, not therapy, but that it was good for her soul. And I love getting to know my students. I love hearing about their lives. I love listening. I love feeling like I'm part of it. But for instance, if this same student had been like, I want to come up, I want to come see you in North Carolina and come stay with you, I would say, no, you can't do that. Or if she was in town, she's not, she lives far away, and said, I really want to go out and get a beer with you. I've had students kind of my same age. Often we get along so well, and they'll be like, do you want to hang out? And you know, often I would, like, I really like them, but because I know that dual relationship thing doesn't work, and as soon as I start hanging out with these people, they're gonna start showing up late to lessons, not doing their homework, not paying on time, I say, I really like you too. I feel like we've built up a good working relationship and maybe even a friendship, but this is my boundary and this is why. It has nothing to do with you. You're so great. I want to, but I've just learned it has to be one or the other. So if you want me as your voice teacher, that's great. We're not going to hang out in real life. If you want me as your friend and you want me to refer you to a different voice teacher, I will do that. I don't think maybe that's only happened once, and that student and I were really close and we ended up deciding to be friends instead. But yeah, it's a hard, tricky thing, you know, when you get to know someone so well and you do want to hang out with them, you really like them, but it just really, I feel like it messes up the balance of, I'm gonna say power, I don't mean it like power. It just, something changes. And that's how I feel. I'm sure it's not that way for everybody, but yeah, that's how I run my studio. And I feel like my clients all know I really care about them and their lives. They're welcome to chat with me and their lessons if they want to use part of their time that way. They're more comfy, more flexible and free when we do start singing. So it is, in a way, productive, I think. I don't need it to be productive. Sometimes I just really enjoy speaking with them. But yeah, my brain is kind of floating out to sea now, so I guess I will pause there. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm curious to hear, as a singer or as a teacher or just, I don't know, a therapist, are you in another field with something similar where you see people one-on-one, you build up a relationship, would you hang out with them in real life, you know? Yeah. I guess I broke that rule when I came to meet my student's baby in the hospital, but come on, she had a baby. That's a big deal. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this, what works for you. And it's hard to turn down my friends when they want me to teach them, but nope, doesn't work well for me. So there we are. Plus it saves the friendship, you know. What if they are being a bad student and they're disrespecting my time, my boundaries, everything, you know, then I have to fire them as a friend, and who wants that? So, or have a really awkward conversation. Anyway, okay. Goodbye for now. Goodbye.